AKA reality. Here's a reality check.
Hello, CJ. Me and thee while I'm bubble scrubbing. Clean tank, bubble scrub. Why not? Making myself some sausage butties. Let's just see if that's working. Yeah. Right, I need to pin that to the screen. 1 second. You still in work? Hello, RIP. Or Rip Bank. Getting some nice sausages here from the butchers. Hello, SC. I went to bed, woke up, and everyone's still on the chat who was on last night. Anyone fancy jumping in? Get a chat going. In the minute, I'm bubble scrubbing. Like I said, there's a lot of people that still don't understand what it does and that.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Hello. SC Reef for you. Can you bubble scrub with the Jaya if it brings it to the surface of the water? Yeah, I've got a Jaya at the back. If you look at the video, I've got a Jaya. Works better with a Jaya, in my opinion, because it gets them nano bubbles floating around. How's it going?
Looking good, man. How many euphyllias you have on the left side? What we're looking at there? I see some frog spawn. I see some. That's just one.
Yeah,
that's one big coral or a bunch of different smaller ones.
There's 2 smaller ones and 1 big one. The big one has about, I'd say, about 12 heads on it.
Okay.
But that's the one. That's the big one. Is the one I've fragged about. No, in fact, not about. I've fragged it 11 times. So it grows that much.
Yeah, once they settle in, like I had one, a single. All the stuff I have, I buy them single heads. I buy them single heads, and you know, like when you're a new reefer and you're looking at a coral, and it takes a long time to split from 1 to 2, but then once it goes from 1 to 2, then 2 to 4, and then 4 to 8, and before you know it, you know, I was counting. I had like 30 something heads, and you don't realize. So it's like it goes fast. It's just when you're a new reefer and you have 1 head, you start looking at it every day and like, oh, why doesn't it grow?
Exactly. Put it in, forget about it, and you don't realize how quick they grow.
And that's what happens. You know, that's what happens.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, the summer when I'm traveling, I forget to, you know, you don't look at the tank every day because you're during the summer, you know, you try to do, we're doing so many things outside. And then one day, you know, once fall comes and you're inside more, you look at it and you say, oh, shucks, it grew.
Exactly. I'm just getting this chat. So I've just put my sausages on. Ooh. Sausage time. Bubble scrubbing killed all my corals. It's the devil. Bubble scrubbing killed your corals. Nah. CJ, I've been doing bubble scrubbing well before people got it on this chat. I was bubble scrubbing a few years ago. I bubble scrub now, and it's never, ever killed a coral of mine. That wouldn't have killed it. Something else might have done. Or if the bubbles were too big.
Wait, CJ saying that?
But
Not
CJ said that, but I can't see.
CJ's probably trolling you.
Yeah, it's definitely 100% not right.
Yeah.
PB, hello PB. Oh, did you realise? Do you know I made you a mod of that group? I've changed the picture. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. Yesterday was. Yeah, I wasn't around much. I wanted to do some work on it yesterday, but I wasn't around much. I saw when you changed the name. Yeah, I saw when you changed the name. I saw when you changed your name, but I didn't see. But yeah, man, I want to be active on it. Hell yeah. You know.
Well, the good thing is now I've changed it to USA. I've made you a mod, Phil. I've not got CJ on Facebook, so I can't add him as a member. But you can. You've got him on Facebook.
Nah, CJ is like. CJ is very protective of his private life. He doesn't. But you know that's good for him. He's very protective. He keeps the fish persona and the personal persona completely separate.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's okay. It's funny. I don't use Facebook much. You know, the only time I use Facebook is to communicate with like you guys, with like you, Phil. It's the best way to reach Steve. So I'm on Facebook, but I haven't used Facebook for years, except when I'm logging into because you run ads through Facebook, so I have to monitor the ads some way. So I only use Facebook to communicate with my aquarium people.
I like the groups. I like the groups on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to realize that they're cool, but
it's more. I think it's more when you're talking on a chat on Facebook. It's more personal than a forum. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
PB, I've just restarted my Facebook. I'm keeping it completely away from YouTube. Fair enough. Yep. Like my personal Facebook, I very rarely use it. Like I very rarely put fish stuff on it. If you look, very rarely. Sometimes I'll do it on accident. If I'm posting a link to my YouTube, I'll put it on a group and I'll accidentally put it to my wall. But usually I take it off. But I don't usually put fish stuff on my wall. Oh, Nick. Bubbles, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Gotta be bubble scrubbing. I love it. That's how I just clean my glass. I always do it. PB, it was me that said put it in a shade area because I've had one and I've grown it massive and I got rid of it. Because it grew too big and it was always in a shaded area. Just make sure you target feed it. Because it's not getting a lot of the food from the light. Target feed it more. Well, not more, but use Gonny Power or just an SPS food, a nice small one. Morning, Phil. Yeah, Reef Rise is good. I'll tell you another one that's good. That's less, gives you less phosphates in the water, which is true. Because Reef Rise raises your phosphates and nitrates pretty high. Use Easy Reef's SPS. Yeah, Easy Reef's SPS is amazing. And it doesn't raise the nitrates and phosphates in your water. I've been using it and my corals react really, really well to it. Let me look at these bubbles.
Ooh, bubbles.
I'm actually bubble scrubbing now. You can't really see it on the video, but that's actually because it's like I say, this is my laptop. You can't even see the bubbles through that. Well, there's thousands and thousands in there. They're that small. Yeah, if you look at that, you feel it. Yeah, you can see it now, Seymour. If you look, you see the different colours in it.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, and it actually goes right round. If you look there, see how big it is now. It's actually huge.
The water looks so clear.
Yeah, well, it's bubbles on it at the minute. Ah, you can see the bubbles now. There you go.
Yeah, I see it. You know, it's funny how before this whole bubble scrubbing craze took off, you know, a lot of times, you know, people always made it seem like bubbles were bad for your corals.
Yeah, but like I said, I read it about 4 years ago. I was going through the forums and that, and I read about bubble scrubbing. So I did it for a while, and I got slated for it. Absolutely slated. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they made it sound like it was such a bad thing. You do not, you know, because even when, especially when I was you know, protein skimmer and tuning hang on back protein skimmer, they say you do not want bubbles. They made, you know, like people didn't even leave you the option to say, okay, it's a personal preference. You don't want to do it because it's ugly. They would make it seem like you do not want those bubbles in your tank for any reason, for, you know, at all. So I thought they would kill them.
yeah. Hang on, PB. Look at the screen. I'm going to show you what I mean. It's. Let me see if I can get it up here.
But isn't it funny how things have changed? One thing years ago, one thing that you would tell you was absolutely detrimental is now, you know, not even bubble scrubbing, but just think of anything else. Like I told you, like I think last fall, maybe like October or November, I went to my fish store and there was a guy arguing, like, yeah, those LEDs can't grow coral. I was like, come on, man, there's so much evidence. He's like, nope, they can't. I'm sticking to my halides.
Let people like that stick in the old ways, man.
Hey, CJ,
Hello.
you at work? You at work on a Sunday?
I've been here since yesterday.
Well, you didn't go home last night?
No.
24. Yo, man, that overtime. Yo, my next job, I need to get paid overtime, man. I need to be like CJ. CJ, I'm copying you, man.
Oh, last year I made $22,000 in overtime, man.
CJ, don't listen, man. All right, I'm quitting right now, and I'm looking for a job with overtime.
Yep, you better. I couldn't live without overtime.
My wife. Yeah, my wife's like you, CJ. She hammers the overtime. And last year alone, I think she earned over £20,000 in overtime alone. But we get taxed a lot.
It's the best
After a amount, we get taxed
ever have. It's the best second job you can ever have, man. That's why, you know, people got 2 jobs and stuff. I'm like, man, is one of them not off overtime?
Yeah, if you work for the city here, yeah, but see, I could see a lot of my job. I automated it myself. There actually used to be a department of like 5 or 6 people, and because I'm a programmer by trade, a lot of stuff that people used to manually do, like I just program Excel to just run reports at the end of the month. So instead of one, but you know, there's something good with as little or as much as you work, you get paid the same. Like, yeah, when I first started this job, it was a lot harder than what it is now. Because like I said, I've automated a lot of it. I've written a lot of scripts. I've written a lot of Excel plugins like myself that automates a lot of my job.
You putting people out of work.
Hey, man, it happens. And they laid everybody off and kept me. They were looking to shut it down. They said, oh, we'll keep you because, you know. Because, you know, you're actually more productive. Listen, man, I hear what you're saying. But probably would have been out of a job, too.
Right. Oh, no, I ain't mad at you. I just thought it was funny. Because we automating so much stuff around here, it made me wonder, damn, they can replace me.
You know, to be honest, that's a lot. we were worried about. That's probably what putting a lot of people out of work. You talk about the economy, yeah. And also remember when you have when people work, we get taxed. Government gets taxed when a robot's doing the work. The robot doesn't get taxed. So
Right.
Just want to grab this phone call. One sec.
So
Right.
so everybody missing out. Like people don't have work, but also the government and the local areas also missing out of that tax revenue too. So the people who, and then they ended up taxing more stuff, like more service. Yeah, it happens, bro. I hear what you're saying. I don't have a solution. I just know there's a problem there somewhere.
You do what you do, bro. This tank, I cannot let this tank get in this bad of shape again, man. This is terrible.
What you talking with the algae?
Yeah, man. It's like cemented onto the glass, man.
Oh yeah,
What you done to it, CJ?
where you got to
What's that?
go in and
What'd you say?
What you done to it, CJ?
Neglected it.
Oh
I think
man,
we need like 4 right now.
what? You crazy, dude.
The mushrooms
Wait, 4?
are shrunk up. I can't believe the anemones are open. That's amazing. I
Wait,
know
CJ, but I
they
thought I thought you were seeing the tank every day and manually dosing every day. I thought you had like a regimen.
I did until I pull all the corals out. Then I kind of neglected it.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Rip, how are we doing?
But come to the conclusion, I don't think I'm gonna keep the nano, so I'm cleaning it up and get it ready to get moved on to some other lucky person.
Oh, why aren't you keeping the nano, CJ?
I'm thinking long term.
Why didn't you just
Right
manage
now
it
it's all
by a
fun.
water change?
Yeah, right now it's all fun and dandy and all of that, but here soon when football stuff starts up, man, it's gonna be hard enough for me to maintain one tank.
Why don't you just put a single piece of rock, a huge anemone, and a pair of crowns in it? That'd look nice.
Oh, a rock anemones, man.
Oh yeah, rock anemones will be
Oh, a
good.
rock anemone nano. I've seen some
Yeah,
setups.
that'd be cool. Easiest
Yeah,
plant to look
yeah,
after.
that would all
No
be
maintenance
cool.
required. Easy.
Here comes the excuse.
At this point,
Leave it with months.
I'm just not feeling it. Maybe I just need to, clean it up real good, do a water change, and just look at it for a little bit. But at this point in time, I'm just not feeling it. I just want to put all my efforts into the 120 to make sure that never slacks.
Listen, Nick, let's give CJ a couple of weeks because he
Yeah,
might
give me a couple
change his
weeks.
mind.
Man.
Change it because he
I'm tired
sometimes
right now.
Well, ease
I ain't
off
slept
the
in 24
pressure.
hours. I'm in my feelings. It just let me relax.
he sometimes makes rash decisions, but he'll
Yeah,
he usually
dial back the
he
pressure.
usually no yeah he'll usually not even pressure, like he'll feel, he won't feel it, because I think one time, man, I saw that thing on Reef to Reef, CJ, and I was shocked. And then you said you had a change of heart, so I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. It's your I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that sometimes you make rash decisions, and then you sometimes after a while you say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna still do it, or so
Yeah,
be easy.
I'll be going through some things, man.
Hey, we all do it.
It's all right.
I did it with my tank in the office. That's why I lost all my SPS. Because I told me I had other stuff which were priority, and I was just going and feeding the fish, topping the water. And I had
That's
to
the
leave it.
thing. Like if I kept it, I think I wouldn't do SPS in it. I think I would just fill this up with like Xenia and
Exactly.
GSP and mushrooms and soft corals, leathers. I would just do that.
Yeah.
So that way I know for sure it can handle some abuse and keep ticking.
Then you might find that you actually use it a different way. Rather than being a pressure, you actually then enjoy it and it helps you to relax.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just look at the screen. I'm just going to throw this video up. This is for Sander. Watch this.
Yeah, that's the one we saw earlier.
I bought
crazy.
some SPS for my Nano Challenge Nano. I'm ready to put these in. I'm ready to put the H.
I want one like that. Paul.
Pocillopora. I bought a bunch of SPS. I'm ready to put them into them. Now that I
How big
have
is that Bacillopore frag you got?
1 inch, bro. I'm gonna take pictures with them with a penny before I put anything in, so people could know. You know, I don't want anybody to be talking afterwards and say, "Nah, man, cheated." Like we don't play that.
All right. I'm about to put my damn hands in mine, man. The angle of that rock, the rock, and the angle I need to scrape it with that stick ain't working out. So,
But I'm going through a bad algae phase now with the nano.
how's
That
that
intro's
killer
awesome.
doing? How's that killer doing in your nano, man?
He's. I bought some snails. I'm about to put some snails in for him to snack on.
Murder. Go ahead and say how you feel, oh.
Nah, not gonna say it. Oh man, this little skimmer is look at the skim mate after a week, bro.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my wife said I can't have a skim mate locker sitting on my dresser. So my wife
Yeah.
said I gotta move that. So I'm gonna put it on the floor. Got
That's
a
a
little
game. That's a
8.
game changer, though. If it's really skimming like that, then
Yeah,
that's a game changer on nano.
you have to tune it a little bit, and yeah, like it just an air stone, man. Yeah, and it foams up. Before I do the video on it, I want to see how often I have to clean it. But yeah,
Right.
man, that's some dark. I was able to tune it, and I get
Did you
some
go to the
dark.
little frag swap yesterday?
No, I didn't go. My
I
wife
heard
was sick.
everybody had a good time. I was wondering if you get the chance, but
I texted Billy, and he said he sold out. So yeah, Dave built me. Shout out to Dave. I don't know if he's there. He built me some refugium lights. These things are bright and they run cool. So I peeled. At the back of these tanks, there's like little acrylic. So I peeled that off. Not zip, but like taped the light to the back, and it shines through. And this is my little refugium basket here with some Cheetos. So that's with that and the skimmer. Hopefully, I won't have to do many water changes.
Nah, you'll still need them, but you'll be able to go a lot longer.
Yeah, and then I'm not gonna do Triton on this tank. I'm gonna do BRS 2-part. So I'm gonna put
Really?
a little dose. Yeah,
Man,
I think so. I think so. The Triton solution, so I might as well try. But I was hoping to do something different, learn something.
Yep.
The
And this
BRS
is
two part. The BRS 2-part is really 3-part, right? They also
Yeah,
have
it's
like
3-part.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I was hoping to do something different.
Why
But
not
this
use
is
the
gonna.
bionic
This
stuff?
is. You know what, CJ? I was actually considering that. I might. And this is only gonna be SPS only. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grow these suckers out, and then put them in the big tank when they're big.
I haven't even built my tank yet for the Nano Challenge.
Hey.
I'm going to be a late starter.
Hey Nick, how's your big tank doing since your wipeout?
This is the Softy Nano.
It's okay.
Let me see.
It was just my SPS, all my Zoas and everything else is fine. So yeah, it was just those, but it's restabilized now that I sorted my DI cartridges out. It's restabilized, so no, it's good. I'm getting coralline growing, so
this is so blue.
I'm ready to repopulate it. I think with coral now. I got a bit more.
This is recovering from bryopsis. Oh, sorry, Nick, I didn't hear you.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, this is recovering from bryopsis. So this nano, this is my kid's nano. This is going to be the Softy Nano. I took out all the SPS. Well, anyway, the anemones kind of killed them anyway, so there was nothing to take out. So this is going to be the Softy and LPS only nano, and I love that. My friend gave that to me.
That's nice.
That Blasto, that thing is, yeah. Yeah, and this tank, I also simplified this tank. I took off the Chaeto reactor, and I just, same thing, same premise. Like a little media basket with Chaeto in it, and I lit it, peeled off the little strip that was on it. I got to take that. And then I taped the lights to it, so yeah, I'm going to make my kid take care of this tank more now. I'm trying to clean up these lights, but...
Oh, you put the lights on the side.
Yeah, I'd one. If you look, I have some old videos where I had a Chaeto reactor hanging off, but this is much cleaner, much easier to, this is much cleaner. And, so all he'll have to do is just lift this up, grab a little bit of Chaeto, and let it go. Done.
What is
nice.
the lowest alkalinity an anemone can survive in?
Well, you have it at 4 now, so 4.
Now, I don't know what it is. I guessed it's 4. Mine may be 0. I don't know. I can bring my checker in and find out. But
I have another one of these dosing pumps that I'm going to add to the. These are my Triton bottles, my little Voss Triton bottles.
Maybe
no water changes in like 8 months for this tank.
Oh, nice.
Triton Method Nano.
Yeah, maybe a very quick dip in the parameters, but if any prolonged dip, lowering of the alkalinity, kill it.
Yeah.
And Nick, that's only the RFG running, and look at how much flow we're getting. Nice. Yeah, it's only the RFG. Only when I do maintenance, sometimes I turn on the, especially now that I don't use the SW2. It's still there. It's still in the corner, but I don't turn it on. So, yeah, so the RFG is enough to.
Which size is that? Is that the 1/2 inch?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get better throw with the 1/2 inch sometimes, depending on the pump size.
Yeah, well, I had to upgrade the pump. You definitely, because it puts a lot of back pressure. So I definitely had to upgrade the pump.
Right.
I definitely had to upgrade the pump, but
yeah, people don't realize when you disperse the flow, then you need to put more through.
But yeah, Jabo has 2 pumps that fit. Well, first, the pump that these innovative marine tanks come with, they're loud. I think that's where they definitely skimp, is on the pump.
Right.
They're loud. So, the tank, if the tank is in a bedroom or anywhere you need quiet, or you're going to be on the phone, you can't have, or you're going to put it on anything wood, you can't have, because right now it's on my kid's dresser, you can't have anything rumbling. It's loud. So you take it out and spend $40. I go to Fish Street and spend $40 on Jabo Coral Box, it's like a 2,000 liter per hour pump.
Right.
And
what adapter are you using now? Is that the drop down adapter?
It comes with it. I think this one is 19 millimeters.
Yeah.
19 millimeter adapter. For the other tank, this adapter is too big, so I think it's the 16 millimeter. Right. So the tanks either come with a 16 or a 19. And I tried this one. This one is too big, so I'm assuming I haven't ordered it yet. I need to. So I put my video out. I'm going to get the VVC is giving. So I'm going to get one for the other tank.
Right. I was just wondering whether you could do with a knuckle, like a lockline knuckle on there, just to be able to twist it around. Because some of that.
Oh, absolutely. Because I have, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I just haven't had a chance, because I took some of the lockline things off the big tank. I do have 2 extra knuckles. Yeah, it's 1/2 inch lockline. I've been meaning to do that, but battling bryopsis and everything, I decided to just let the tank be.
Yeah, because you'll have some of that flow be hitting the front glass.
Yeah, it's funny. I've had the bryopsis in here, and it wasn't at all. And I took the Chaeto out. The Chaeto had a lot of brown, stringy stuff on the Chaeto, and I took all that Chaeto out, replaced it with fresh Chaeto. And since I've done that 2 days ago, I only have this small patch of bryopsis on this leather. That's the only thing remaining.
Right.
So I don't know if the Chaeto had something to do with the bryopsis, I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but it wasn't working until I took the Chaeto out.
Maybe that was enough to just push it over the edge and outcompete it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I hope so. Yeah, but I like these little. I'm reluctant to take these down. Like I said, my life is going to change a little bit. I'm going to probably go back to working in an office, but I love these so much, man. I'm reluctant to take them down.
Mm.
So I'm gonna wait and see, how things go before I make any decision. But I love this. I love these little nano tanks, man. I'm a nano tank lover now.
No reason to take it down, man. It looks like it's how long has that been up? It looks mature.
It's like 8 months.
Not bad.
8 months. Eight
It'll
or
run
9
by
months.
itself.
Everything here from single frags. Everything here is from like 1-inch frags.
Yeah, if you don't mess with it, it'll run itself.
I've taken out so many mushrooms here and given them away, and it just. I have discosoma mushrooms. I have no problem running them. In fact, I have to give them away. Got a lot of different zoas. Yeah, I do have. You see, I have a pistol shrimp, 2 pistol shrimp, 2 goby pairs in here, and they move the sand around. Whenever
So you can
they feel
fit
like.
2 gobbies in there?
Yeah, 2. I have 2 gobies, 2 clownfish. It's a 14-gallon tank. A pair of clownfish, 2 gobies, and 2 pistol shrimp.
What, the Yellow Watchman or Yasha?
No, it's one with some stripes. I don't.
Okay, yeah, that's I know what it. Randall's, I think it's called.
Yes, Randall's. Yes, 2 Randall gobies and 2 Randall gobies and 2 pistol shrimp.
They're jumpers, by the way. Like if you can fit 2 in there, that's awesome because that's not a big footprint. And I've tried to kind of squeeze 2 Yellow Watchman gobbies again, it never worked. And yeah. So
what
if you
I've
got 2 in
noticed
there, that's awesome.
what I've noticed with jumpers is moonlight, especially on the big tank. I do not like running a cover at all. I don't. I don't know. I just don't like it, especially with rimless tanks. It just looks so good to have a cover. But I do realize that when the lights, like I'll set my lights to go off about 7, but then I have very faint moonlight until about 10 when the fish go to sleep, and then the lights go off. And I think I went through a period last summer when I lost like 4 or 5 wrasses to jumping. And once I installed like the Neptune lunar sim module, and because the fish always jump at dusk, like as soon as the lights go off, that's when the fish jump. I don't know if they get spooked after the lights go off. So since I've done that, I haven't lost any fish to jumping.
Yeah, generally when the gobbies, when they've been there for a while, they have their hole with the pistol shrimp. Rather than jump, they'll duck into the hole. But it's just at the beginning when they're jittery, they're not set up, so they're prone to jumping. That's what I found anyway.
Yeah, I usually try to keep fish in an acclimation box for a week or 2, so I can see the interaction. Because I've had it before where I've added a fish and another fish, or it tries to get at another fish through the acclimation box, and after 2 weeks, the aggression is not dying down, and that's when I know like this is not going to work.
I've never had the goby jump from this tank. I was worried about that when I put it in here, but my pistol shrimp and goby pair have never tried to jump, which is unusual.
That's good. Good thing.
On the circular tank, this is going to be SPS dominant. This is an AI prime. The other tank has a Radeon G4 XR15. So I'm going to swap the lights once this tank starts to grow because that has more spread, more punch for SPS. So I'm gonna, since the other tank is softy only, I'll switch the lights around. So I went to IKEA. This is an AI prime.
Yeah, they're not bad actually. The AI primes are not bad.
I like it. I went to IKEA and bought this little 7-gallon container. So I'm going to use that as my ATO container. I'm going to drill it, put a bulkhead. And since I can't see how much water is in it because it's black, I'm going to put a float switch. I bought a float switch from BRS. So when I'm refilling it, I have big ATO containers for all the tanks. So I'm just going to run the ATO container across the apartment. And, when I have a booster pump, so when the pressure builds, the booster pump sort of alerts me that the container's full. So that's how I'm going to fill my RO containers. So yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm ready for the challenge. Oh yeah, Yeah, I have safeguards, man. I've had so many accidents where I fell asleep and a neighbor came
All
knocking
right.
on my door. I said, "What
Oh,
are you doing?"
shit.
So with all my containers now, I have float switches, and so it shuts off. It shuts off when the containers are filled. Yeah, I can't deal with that anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You flooded your neighbors,
Oh, yeah.
oh?
Dude,
Oh my
I'm on
God.
a third floor apartment. I've like people downstairs. I think I've given them showers like 2 or 3 times.
Wow. I'd be highly upset.
Yeah, well, I think they're highly upset.
My buddy.
They don't talk to me anymore, so I think
Yeah,
I
my
think they're
buddy.
still
Like,
upset.
They
my
don't
buddy. Like,
talk to you in the hallway.
Yeah. Oh, but one time though, it wasn't me. They thought it was my fish tank. But one time it was the tub was leaking, and the lady came banging on my door like, "What the hell are you doing up there?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it turns out my tub was leaking, but it had nothing to do with me. It was under the tub, so it had nothing to do with me. But now, and luckily, CJ, that was the last time she came. So before that, it was a fish tank. So the last time I kind of put her in her place, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. There's nothing going on up here. And turns out it was the tub, so she had to apologize about that. So that kind of put her on her heels a little bit. But that's when I installed all my safeguards, man. Float switches, timers. So even if the float switch doesn't trigger it, I have a timer that I know estimated how long it's going to take for the RODI to fill. So it shuts off the booster pump after like 2.5 hours. So I'll make a guesstimate of like, hey, the container is empty, so it's going to take 4 hours to fill. So then I'll put a timer on it. So I got a couple of safeguards in.
yeah, if you got that, you should be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, I've flooded. I've caused floods. Sometimes I've caused floods here that didn't even get downstairs, But when it goes to a floor below, it's bad.
My buddy, he lived in a commercial building. He had a nice place. It was a commercial building, and he was living there. There was an office downstairs. He had like a 125 6-footer, and that thing like split on the side. The floor was uneven, and it split on the end glass, and flooded the floor below. The floor was very like you'd almost see downstairs. It was just like old style building with thick beams on the floor. Easily, the water went through those beams and flooded all the computers, like leaked salt water into the computers in the floor below, in the whatever rental space below, and they sued him. They sued the guy. Like it was pretty bad. Flooding is not a good idea.
I have a 75 on the 3rd floor, but once my super showed me a tank. He took like someone moved out of their apartment and left a tank in it. Someone had like a 6-foot 180 on like the 4th floor.
Oh my God!
And I'm scared of. Man, I don't even know. How do you think they got it up there? I don't even know how they got it up there.
That means your apartment building is very, very sturdy.
Oh, I guess.
Maybe cement floors.
No,
Yeah,
not cement. Definitely not cement floor. Not cement floors. I was worried about putting a 125, a 75 on the 3rd floor, and somebody had 180 on the 4th. Jeez. I went to Chinatown once, Chinatown in New York, and there's a coral guy I used to buy corals from. And man, this guy had the room where he had his tanks were like, the room was like 15 by 15, and he had tanks everywhere. And he had the most elaborate system of pumps and piping. He even he had like some failsafe where if they detected leaks, it started pumping water through the window to because he's like, I can't flood. So he's like, if I detect a leak here, I drain this tank. He had like the most elaborate system of like leak detection and pumps I've ever seen. I wish I took a picture. Like if this tank leaks, pump water here. If this tank leaks, empty this one. If this one leaks, pump it in the bathroom. If this one leaks, and then if the bottom one starts leak, he knows he's in trouble. So he's like, it's like full shutdown mode. Pump all the water through the window.
All right. I think I'm done cleaning glass. Or the sand bed. The water smells really strong of coral. So it's definitely time to change the water, put some carbon in it.
You gotta run some carbon with coral because you have soft coral in there.
That smell, you know what I'm talking about? How you
Yeah, I
you can
do.
tell if it's real bad. If you pull out one of your pieces of equipment and expose it to air, like you can
Oh yeah,
instantly smell it. Like
yeah. The leather corals give the worst smell when you take them out of
So
water.
if you're getting a smell from a soft coral, it's a toxicity in the water, and you need to run carbon. You need to make a water change and run carbon.
yep. Yep. No doubt. I'm probably gonna do a 90% water change here tomorrow or Tuesday. Then I'm gonna leave the tank alone for a little bit, see where it's at, and I may start
That's very
putting some
toxic.
coral in. Oh yeah, no doubt it's toxic. No doubt about that at all. The only two things I got in there are anemone and the Monty Cap right now, and the GSP. The mushrooms I had in there are shriveled up. They may bounce back when I do a water change. Who knows?
That's the problem I face when I wild collect. Um, how to deal with that? When I cut the soft coral out, um, it really poisons the water. So
It's worse whenever they're stressed, especially if you slice them.
yeah, that's why we're talking about that. I don't know if you were there. We're talking about that. Like it's the peroxide that I find that works the best. Like a peroxide dip.
Really, for
Yeah.
what, healing or keeping them from getting?
Yeah. It for the zoas or for the um, call it the polyp. Yeah. What polyp? Not green star polyp. I just can't think of it now. But you know what I mean. And peroxide will basically kind of help them to heal. I don't know how to, like if they're cut or injured or something, like, because when you pull them out, they kind of rip out. It's not like you don't go around every individual polyp, so um, and so like some of them are a little torn, and I find that they're when they're torn like that, they kind of release this toxin that it's just terrible. It kills everything.
Yeah, you never want to frag it in your main display.
Wait, leather
Yeah,
corals? You guys said?
leather corals, they will, but not as much as polyps and and maybe like a xenia, and those type of soft corals.
I think I've seen I think I've heard of, is it Sanjay or either Sanjay or Mike Paletta says he had pallies or zoas polyps on a rock and he put it outside, or his friend had it and he put it outside. He had it in his yard, and then he was ready to use the rock some other time. And his friend asked him, "Hey, can you boil it? Can I boil it just to, And he said,
Oh
yes.
man,
He
no.
Yeah.
No,
So yes,
no. Yeah,
you can imagine how the story turned out bad. But
oh no,
even
that's
even after
released
it was
into the
sitting in a
air.
yard for months and everything was dead, just them boiling it to get rid of, to like sort of, like rush the cure a little bit, it still end up, like he said, somebody fainted, and it was overall bad. So
Yeah, it's not a joke. It's a real poison, and if you act ignorant with that, like you're gonna make it a lot worse. Like if you would drink the water, you would go to the hospital. You know what I mean? If I drank the frag water, like even just a little, like you'd go to a hospital. You need to go to a hospital, need medical attention. So it's really like toxic. It'll kill everything in your tank with given time. So
yeah, no, I don't mess with zoas at all. Like I will The thing I'll tell everyone, like I'll put something like a rock in the middle of the zoas, and when they grow on that rock, I'll take that rock out and give it to you. But if you're asking me to like frag zoas, I will not. Like I refuse to.
Like
I'll
sometimes.
get a few, and you can wait.
Sorry, go. Sorry, go.
No, I was saying basically I was gonna say the same thing. Like I'll put a frag plug next to one, and hopefully the zoas grow on it. But if you're asking me to frag and glue zoas, like I'll never do it.
Yeah, sometimes the rock is just too big for me to like break, you know, and it doesn't make sense to do it because I wouldn't want to break the rest of the coral that are colonies that are on there. I just want a small piece of those zoas, you know, so I just kind of, you know, cut them off. But it's not easy to get them to recover, I find. It hasn't been easy. The last 2 times I've been out.
It hasn't been easy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
they're not.
Good morning, guys.
You finish first.
Yeah. No, the only thing I was going to say is they're not responding, you know, like, so they need to be dipped and they need to be like constantly water changed, constantly water changed to get that, let them bleed out. I don't know, bleed out, but like leak out that toxicity until they're done doing it. But go ahead.
Hey, does anybody have any Antheus?
Nope.
Not me.
Okay, then.
But I would like to, but not right now.
Your tail.
Oh, you do?
I have a single lyre tail. I had a trio, one male, because the male lyre tails are beautiful. So
Yeah, they're like deep red.
Tail. Yeah, I had one that was purple. Like there's 2 different types of them, and they had flukes and died. So I only have one of the females left.
Oh.
Can Reef regale time.
Thinking about. I might pick up 4 today. Start quarantining them.
Yeah, what type were you looking to pick up?
feed them all.
Yeah, you gotta feed them like 2 to 3 times a day or 4 or whatever.
No, one or 2 times a day is fine.
On Antheus?
Yeah, I've had them I've had my Antheus, and you know, I've fed them. You know, 1 time a day is fine, or you know, feed the same food, and just split it up into 2 meals. It's not like you have to feed them more. So if you're used to feeding 2 cubes a day, just feed 1 cube twice a day.
Right. I don't know, just everywhere I go, everybody keeps saying, you know, to keep them healthy and alive, to feed multiple times, like 3 to 4 times a day.
Yeah,
Small portions, of course.
It doesn't mean that you have to feed more. It's just that if you were feeding 1 cube, just feed a third of a cube 3 times a day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If you could get them on flakes or something, that would be even better.
Well, let's see how it goes. I gotta go to the store and see if I can find them healthy.
Well, see if you could find ones that are already on flakes. That would be best, because then you could feed probably frozen at night and then flakes during the day.
Okay.
That's a nice blood shrimp, CJ.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. The shrimp have been in that tank for a long time, and they're doing fantastic. They get along great. They molt all the time. I was thinking about moving them over to my 120, but I'm gonna let them roll in here. That's how they hang, though. One, the blood shrimp stays in the cave, and the other guy stays underneath the overhang right there.
Yeah, I like your. I actually like your that overhang. Nice.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I said I like the overhang. It's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was one of the themes I wanted to make sure I have in this tank. One was rock going to the surface, and the other was an overhang. How that happened was the fun part. But I actually drilled this rock and used rods, and I used reef cement as well on the escape, so it's one solid structure. So, and it fits in a 5-gallon bucket, which is great. So that way, if I want to storm out angry, like I quit, all I need is a 5-gallon bucket. I can put my whole skate down inside of it, all my water, and carry my tank out. Be fine. Always remember, can you storm out angry before you buy a tank for your office?
Hey, those shrimps you got, sorry, those shrimps you got, they don't bother the corals?
No. I got a pistol shrimp in here too. He was shooting all night long. He was shooting his shot at something. I don't know what it was, but I heard him all night long shooting in his tank.
So what about those cleaner shrimps? Are they they all right for the reef tanks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great for the reef tank. They clean your fish and they also scavenge. They scavenge all the little tiny pores in the rock that nothing else can get to. They can reach their little arms in and get everything out.
You can do a lot with that tank, CJ. I see a lot of potential with that tank. You can do a lot of nice stuff with that tank. Yeah,
did you see it before I pulled the corals out? It was kind of trending towards something looking really nice, but I just ruined it by pulling all the corals out. But
yeah, you should have left it. It was looking nice.
Yeah. Well, all the corals are in the 120. I could bring them back. Which I actually bought some that are in the 120. I plan on putting in here. I got some Pally, some Zoas. Got a lemon lime torch, and I got a little purple torch I wanted to add in here. I got some pieces I could put in, but they wouldn't qualify for the Nano Challenge or whatever, so I'm kind of on the fence.
Yeah, but doesn't mean you can't have them in there, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
You could just add whatever corals you want in there, and then just say this is what I'm using for the challenge.
No, they all have to be a certain size.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta start with 1-inch frags or single heads of Euphilia starting out.
Does that also apply to the anemone?
No, the anemones, the rule, they got to be 4 inches or smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
So CJ, I got my tank coming in on Monday.
The new one?
Yeah.
Good deal.
This thing better be like top shape, man. If there's anything wrong with it,
yeah. Oh, I doubt it is.
I'm gonna flip out.
Send it to you. What's gonna happen with the other one? He gonna let you keep it, or you gonna send it back?
No, I gotta send this shit back, man. I'm gonna have both tanks here in the house in a freaking 2-bedroom apartment. So I have no idea where I'm gonna put this other tank. He wants me to basically put the new one up, test it, make sure it's good, and then he's gonna send the company back and pick it up. So I gotta take out the old tank.
At least he's handling the shipping. It seems like you all were able to come to some kind of reasonable agreement, I guess.
Well, yeah, you know what's funny? He's telling me that him shipping me a new tank was gonna cost him $900.
I wouldn't doubt
it.
Yeah,
it's very expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Well,
he's losing money, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely losing money.
That's kind of crazy because I bought the tank for $600.
Mm-hmm.
So if it costs him $900 to ship a tank and he's selling it for $600, he's losing money then somewhere.
I don't know. Maybe it got something to do with sending a replacement tank. Maybe it's a different way he's sending it special or something. You know what I'm saying?
No, same thing. Same company, same everything.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, whatever.
But you get a new tank.
Yep.
So, yeah. Good deal.
I've heard of many stories where the retailer won't ship, you know, and then like you're like I'm saying, I don't know you exclusive, but sounds like you got a good deal. Like sounds like you got a fair deal. He's responsible.
No, Steve is good. You know, I mean, it takes a little bit of talking to him and all that, but yeah, no, he definitely is good. The only thing I'm a little wary about now is probably getting I hope it's a new tank and it's not freaking something that they got back and they sealed it up or whatever. You know what I mean? Because that's basically what they're gonna do to mine. They're just gonna fix that seal and ship it out, clean it up and ship it out.
You would never know, because I'm sure they would clean the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But look, it's basically 5 panes of glass and some silicone. So
yeah.
They wouldn't I wouldn't throw a tank away. Like I'd redo the seals.
Well, you know what You know what he
Go
told me? I'm sorry. He told me that like basically if a customer calls them telling them that they have like a little bubble, it doesn't matter how big it is, that basically he'll ship them a new tank and it'll just tell them to scratch this one. Just throw it in the garbage. I'm like, holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. He sent them for a bubble though, because a bubble is going to be a big problem later on in life.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
But
that's what I gotta look. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'm making a mistake, but that's why I asked about the Antheus because I want to start the cycle with ATM and with the Antheus and 2 clowns. I don't know if that's a smart idea because you know we all know how the Antheus are so.
yeah, you got to feed them a lot and all that stuff, man. I don't know. I mean, if you're not, I wouldn't do it just because of how much you're going to have to feed them. You're already going to have enough issues with the tank cycling.
What size tank is that?
100.
You need to go like, look, you know, I'm not like, who am I to tell you what to do, you know? But I'm just giving you advice that, you know, I would follow myself. If you set up wrong, it's gonna be like a headache all the way through, you know. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's gonna be a headache for months and months and months, and you're not gonna enjoy yourself. Like, if you want to see some life in a tank, and you can't stand to see your tank empty, just cycling, I totally understand that. I hear that. Get a smaller one, you know. Get a nano and put some fish in there, and that way you won't, you know, you'll have something that you can look at while your tank is cycling. That's what I suggest.
So what do you think? You say
That's the exact reason I have this nano right here. I started this the same tank as the 120, and I just abused this one. Threw live rock in, threw fish in, just kind of took out all my urges on this tank.
So you're saying to do a fishless cycle?
There's some actually in Reef to Reef. There's a good article right now. They're talking about ULM and ultra low maintenance tank, and like what's, you know, everybody's putting their 2 cents in on that. And there's some really good ideas about how to cycle the tank. If you want to know, I can tell you. But if you want to read
What's
up,
your name?
My name's Rip.
Oh, Rip. Rick?
R.I.P. Rip.
Rip. I'm Lewis.
Yeah, nice
I watched that. Nice to meet you, man. I watched that video also from BRS where they're doing that ULM tank, the 3 tanks that they're starting to cycle, but they're taking up to 3 months. There's no way I could wait 3 months. Well, I've already been waiting since last March.
You know what, that's what it is. Because that's the way. That's always. You know what? I'd rather tell you, and even if you tell me to go to hell, you know, I'd rather tell you because.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be steering you wrong if I told you, yeah, you know, it's okay, 2 weeks and that's fine. You know, it's wrong, and you will. The only thing you will do is you will create a perpetual cycle of
algae problems.
Yeah, algae, and then diatoms, and then you're gonna start out like there's a saying, you know, when the tree starts to grow crooked, it's very hard to bring it back straight, and you know, like
I got you.
do it that way.
Yeah, I thought about it, you know, and that's one thing with ATM. With ATM Colony, it's you know, you add the product in, and same day you add fish.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to do that, at the very least, leave your tank black for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Or run the lights very, very, very short.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna. Yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna do. What I'm planning on doing is running Chato for about 10 hours a day with light on, and the tank is gonna be with no light for the first like maybe month, and I'll probably just put the lights on for about an hour a day or so, an hour or two, just to feed the fish.
Yeah.
We
can't hear you, Paul.
1 second.
Paul did that. Paul used ATM Colony.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you better. But make sure you explain everything, Paul. Don't just say I used it and leave out the fine print.
I'm not going to do it. Right. The last 2 systems I've set up with ATM Colony. The Nano I set up with Fritz 46, Fritz Turbo Start Both the same bacteria, one's more concentrated. But the two main systems are set up, which are the big systems, I use colony in both of them. And I never left the lights off. I never left it in darkness. I've never had an algae bloom. I've never had a diatom bloom. So it seems stupid. I've never had none of them problems, ever.
Now, Paul, let me ask you a question. Did you use live sand and live rack with that?
The first system I set up, I used live rock and dry sand. The second system I set up, I used dry sand and dry rock.
And you never had an algae bloom or anything?
Never. I've never had algae in my system in 6 years. Never had an algae outbreak or anything.
Now explain every single thing you did to make sure that didn't happen, because when you say stuff like that,
right. No, that's what I do.
Without explaining it.
I keep things clean. So in my system, like, people won't keep things clean. Every other day I change my filter socks and filter floss. I dose ATM Colony or Fritz 460, which is a sludge remover, which keeps things clean. So my tank's constantly clean. So I'm not saying it's because I started it with that. It's because I keep it clean. I don't do water changes. at all. But I don't use any chemicals in the water. I use trident, I use bacteria, that's it. And I keep the fish healthy with like vitamins and minerals that the fish need within the water column and all. Keep them healthy. But I've never, it's like when people say that you need to turn your lights off and all that. I've never done that.
Okay, so first 3 months of that tank's life, Paul, what are the process of the first 3 months?
As in?
You starting your tank instantly. For the first 3 months, what is your process if you want to try to summarize it?
Meaning, do you add colony, you add your fish and all that, and then you leave your lights on for 8 to 10 hours a day, or do you start off slow?
Yeah, then you did a water change 1 month in, or none at all, or like detail your first 3 months if you can, or first month.
Well, forget the first tank. We'll go straight to my second system, because straight to my second system is easy. So what I did, I got the rock, put the rock into my system, put the sand in, filled the tank with water. And now I left it 24 hours just for it to filter out the water, like to eat up. After that, I poured the colony in, and I literally, like within an hour of pouring the colony in, fish was in the tank. And we're talking 8 fish. So I put 8 fish into the system at once. And then the same day, I was like literally sticking SPS and LPS in the system. Now, you've got to remember, corals don't really bother about water. Do you know what I mean? So corals, they're fine. It's the fish that you've got to look after. Now, I tested from day one, and I never got ammonia spike in the full time that it was starting up from. So, and then I'd say about a month down the line, I did do a water change. I did about 50% water change. Not for the sake that I had to do it, but just to tell me that I did it. Do you know what I mean? So just to say, yeah, I've done a water change. Then after that, I've never done a water change since. You know what I mean? So I never did a water change all the way down. But again, I keep things clean. And if things are clean, you're going to prevent that ammonia buildup, ammonia spike. And I'm using the bacteria, which also removes ammonia.
Did you supplement any live rock at all to seed that tank with anything at any point in time?
On the first one, I'd say if anything, it was the old, you know, like them plastic floaty balls that you have in your sump.
Yeah.
I had them. I took them out of my old one and threw them in.
Okay. So you
but you got to remember, they've got a lot of bacteria on themselves, haven't they?
Right.
But no, other than that, no. And it's not just me, because you've got Mark Ebb, like I say, who's a reaper around here. Like, yeah, me and Michael talk about him a lot. He did the same thing. He set a full system up with dry rock. Did the exact same thing within a day. Put all his corals and fishing within a day. He's one of the best. Mark, he has got a YouTube channel, but he doesn't use it for reefing. He is on Facebook a lot, on the groups on Facebook, and he shows the pictures. So Michael gets that,
but if every new hobbyist or whatever did that, what's the percentage of them having success, do you think? Or what's the percentage of them crashing and killing everything and just demoralizing themselves?
50-50.
Everybody, yeah, but everybody that I've told to do this, and I'm not lying, I've never known anyone to go for a crash after they've done it.
Yeah.
I've never
See,
known.
I think what you're saying can work, right? But I think it's a certain level of experience of knowing what to look for and how to balance your tank out.
Yeah.
That also is a huge factor in that method working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, see, the tank I've got upstairs, the Nano that I've got upstairs, right? I started that with the turbo start, which is the free
Right.
model, which is the same. It's the same stuff, it's just more concentrated in stuff. Now, it was the 5th of January. I filled that up with water. Corals was in it the same day. So corals were in it, and there's a fish in it. I've got them in the water there. I've clean the system. Everything's happy in there.
Your mic's cutting out.
Just
Yeah,
laptops.
I hear you, Paul. Well, exclusive, that may be what you wanted to hear, so you can get your instant gratification. You heard two sides of the coin. You heard some people say wait. You heard Paul say go for it. I guess there's ways to be successful both ways, but I think waiting is the better way for someone that's new.
Yeah. I like that, CJ, because I always tell people always say to me, which way? Well, I always tell them there's two ways, and I always send them to CJ's channel.
Yeah.
Always send them to CJ's. If you want to do it the long way, go to CJ's. If you want to do it the quick way, do it my way. Do you know what I mean? So there's two ways, and they both work. I think CJ's is the older way, which is, I think it's got more people that have done it that way. So I think more people are careful and want to do it that way.
Right.
And but this way is more new, and people don't like it because it's still too new.
Exclusive, like what's your, I'm sorry, what's your name again? Lewis?
Lewis, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, are you new in the hobby, or are you getting back into it?
No, I'm getting back in.
So you're aware of your water chemistry, and you know how to dose 2-part, and you have test kits, and you're all set up to do this.
Yeah, I got all my test kits. I got all my HANA sets. I got a Califer and HANA checker. I have a 10-gallon right now. It's almost like a staging tank that I've been running for about 3 months now, which I have like 2 months, and I have a pair of clowns in there, so I've been keeping that up. But yeah, I had just Fowler back about 15 years ago, and then started introducing some softies and some anemones. But I gave up and I sold everything before I even got to the 2-part. So at the time I had a 30-gallon, and all I did was just do water changes and then maintain the levels.
In my opinion, and you can maybe other people chime in, but in my opinion, your water chemistry, like when you want to set up a saltwater tank, you're not taking care of the animals. Actually, you're taking care of the water. And
Agreed.
if you think of it that way, the most important part of a reef tank's water is based on the coral that it will be housed there. So it's your calcium, your alkalinity, your pH will follow, and your magnesium will follow. So if you are familiar with that, and you're very familiar with that, for example, about how many milliliters you will dose of 2-part, and each part of the 2-part, and you're pretty familiar with that, then you can play. I guess there's room for play. But for me, I wouldn't suggest, like, if I was helping a friend, get into the hobby or get back into the hobby, I wouldn't tell him to wait for nothing. Waiting for nothing is come on, that's not smart. But waiting for a reason, like, for example, you add your sand and your rock, and however you decide to go, like whether it's dry rock or live rock, or however, there's different approaches for that. But let's say you have your sand and your rock in your tank, and it's been there for a couple of weeks. The way I judge that, and like I say, waiting for nothing is useless. But if you're running your lights and slightly feeding your tank, just like a little bit of food in your tank, and I mean just like 1 or 2 flakes, just to put something in there. you will start to see a little bit of algae on the glass. When you see that, and again, this is just an opinion. It's one version. I'm just trying to give you an idea. If when you start to see algae on the glass, then you can, if you want to do that, you can add a little macroalgae, whatever type of macroalgae you want to add to your refugium, if you have one, and then that will, you know, basically take down whatever small spike you have, ammonia spike. After about 2 weeks, you'll see some growth on your chaeto or whatever macroalgae you put in there. Then you can add some either pods or amphipods or whatever microfauna you know, tigger pods or like whatever you want to add, whatever you can, what's available to you, and then after just keep on going slightly, keep on feeding the tank slightly, very small amounts of you know, a cheap flake food, something like that, and you should see like a population explosion in your microfauna, like your pods. Once that's done, if you have a sand bed, then you can add your cleanup crew, whatever you decide on a cleanup crew. And then after that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, your cleanup crew will be established. You keep on, you know, giving a very small amount of cheap flake food to your tank. And, you know, because they need something, you know, the cleanup crew needs something to clean up, they need to eat, right? And then once they're settled in, then you can go ahead and add your fish. And that should take you, I mean, the minimum that should take you is about 2 months.
All right. So, I mean, I was thinking about going the other route of just adding the colony and the fish in. But if I go that route, then if I'm not adding fish, then what am I doing? Just feeding every day a little bit?
You wanna
with the ATM colony.
The way you like, the idea behind giving a little food to nobody, you know, in your tank.
Right, ghost feeding.
Yeah, it's basically to put some kind of nutrients in that will break down to stimulate the bacteria to increase in number.
Right.
Yeah, feeding them. You'll need to introduce some kind of ammonia source, whatever ammonia source you choose.
Yeah,
you know,
because I still have Dr. Tim's.
You'll be fine with that. But the thing, Paul, also, I don't know if he put enough stress on it. He mentioned it, but he grazed over it. His desludger, his bacteria that helps keep his system clean, that is a super major factor in him not having algae issues later down the road as well.
That is true.
So,
that is true. That's true, CJ.
What'd you say?
I said that's true. Using that bacteria.
That is a major factor in him not doing it. So, you know, with you saying you want to start with ATM and all of that stuff, I mean, it's cool, but if you're really not considering how you're going to manage the nutrients and the algae issue, that it's going to happen if you don't do something about it.
Well, I was thinking
that's what'll lead to the frustration, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking of starting the refugium right away once colony and the fish go in.
If that's going to be enough, is going to be the question. So,
when you cycle tank naturally, the bacteria that's in colony, that's the bacteria that you're cycling naturally. It's just like it's coming in a potent form in a liquid, so you're literally pouring all that bacteria that you're waiting for naturally.
Right.
Straight into the system. Instead of waiting for that bacteria to colonize, you're just literally pouring it straight into your system. So it's there, ready. No waiting 8 weeks.
Because like alternatively, I've done Insta systems, but I'm in the Philippines, so I use natural seawater, live rock. You know, it's already established, live sand, and I can Insta system. You know, Insta cycle a system using everything live, because the bacteria is already established on each part, like on the sand, on the rock, in the water. Well, not necessarily in the water column, but you know what I mean. Like the water's,
right.
It already has everything that it needs because it's natural salt water. So I've done that, you know, but I wouldn't suggest that for everybody. It's not, you know, when you have an algae outbreak, and you have tons of green hair algae all over your tank, it's really ugly, and it's not fun. You know, it's overtaking all your coral, and like whatever money you spent on coral. You know, it's not fun. So it's not fun to have fish die. You know what I mean?
Hey, Rip,
Like, so it kind of like.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I was done anyway.
No,
I was just rambling.
what I was gonna say was, once I start it up and I'm gonna add the, your 8 to 10 fish or whatever it is, 3 to 5, whatever I decide to go with, I'm not adding any corals in there until I go through all that phase, because I know it's gonna come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, but I'm not planning on adding anything in there within the first, 3 to 6 months.
That's major. That's major. You
Yeah.
said that, and I'm so glad you did, because once corals go in the tank, then your hands are going to tie behind your back as far as how long or how often you can black the tank out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
no, I'm not doing that.
eventually that display will activate your refugium. So to avoid that ever happening, we'll need to limit the light, and in a way to where corals wouldn't be happy. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to do that, man, I think it'll work. I mean, I think it'll
Yeah,
work.
because
Yeah.
the lights, like you said, the display lights are going to overpower the refugium, and that's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it'll balance out eventually, but at first, once those nutrients all let themselves go in your display with a very bright light, it will happen. It'll definitely happen, especially with the size refugium you'll have on that system underneath. I mean, It's going to be what, 15 gallons maximum, if that, inside the sump. You know what I'm saying?
For the
So,
refugium, yeah, probably.
yeah, so it's not going to be a ridiculously large refugium either. So it's definitely going to have to, yeah. So if you're going fish only basically for a while and you're limiting the light cycle and all of that stuff, then yeah, I think you can get away with it that way, without a doubt. Especially if you're willing to go 3 to 6 months, without a doubt, I think you can get away with it. So water changes and refugium and letting it mature that route, then without a doubt, and you get to enjoy fish swimming around as you wait. So I see what you're doing. That sounds like a reasonable plan.
I mean, with 100 gallons, like it's enough water. It's good enough.
Yeah, because right now where the tank is situated is next to a window, so it's getting plenty of daylight, where I don't need to use the lights, the tank lights, just to give the fish a little something.
I think a lot of people would not recommend sunlight, but you can play it by ear. You can play it by ear and see if you see a lot of algae growing in your tank, then you might want to block out the sunlight. But play it by ear. Just be careful of that.
Yeah, I know. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be one of those last minute things that I'm gonna decide. I might just throw the colony in and ghost feed it for for a 4 week, whatever. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Well, we're always here. If you want to get some, if you have a problem and you say, hey, this is happening, we can, try to help you.
Oh yeah, I know, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards doing the 1 day thing, because I know you guys are here. So if I have any problems, boom, I know who to hit up.
All right.
You still at work?
What's up? Yeah, I'm going to step outside, check me out. Smoke break. But yeah, I'm almost done, man. I got a couple more hours. Been here all night.
What are you doing at work, CJ?
I'm getting money.
I know you're getting money, man, but are you going through like a migration? Are you moving this move, or?
Nah, it's
Just
wanted
work?
some extra. Just wanted some extra money, man. This one I just put it out there. I was like, anybody want a day off? It happened to be a 12-hour weekender.
Mm.
2 months, man. I'm trying to finish the 120. Co in a few months. Got a bathroom I'm remodeling. All that equals up to moolah. Can you hear me? I did my signal drop again.
Yep, I hear you.
Yep. But yeah, one thing that I will never be able to say is that I was lazy. I put hours in every week. What happened? Where everybody go at?
Yeah, it's still here. I'm just typing. I'm trying to get my friend to come in here. Like, I think you know him, CJ, right?
Maybe not.
Inappropriate Reefer.
My bad. I logged out. Who is the friend?
Inappropriate Reefer.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Who is that guy?
Yeah, man. You know him.
Is that the like all the Asian girls in this video?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. I want to be like
What's
that guy
CJ
one
He
day.
doesn't know him. You don't know who Inappropriate Reefer is?
No.
I think he has a hang off. No, a nano hang off.
Yeah, drop off tank.
Drop. Yeah.
Come on, man. Get in here. Inappropriate Reefer. Get in here, man. Give him a link.
Nah, I don't think he does hangouts.
Yeah, he's here.
Who comes to name like Inappropriate Reefer anyways? Who is that?
Because he's inappropriate. Who comes up with a name like CJ?
That was an accident.
All right. Well, at least CJ, like you like to say, this is a safe space, man. Safe space.
Yeah, it's a safe space, man. Actually, it came from my name, and then my son was born. And I'm secretly building my son an empire on YouTube so he can take this over.
Suppose he's not interested when he gets older.
Well, blood in, blood out. And for me, so he got to follow the rules, or I'll just have two more. I'll replace them with somebody. It's all good, man.
Savage with the tank, savage with the kid.
Eviction. Evicted at 18. Nah, I'm just playing.
At least you're consistent.
I mean, to be honest, man, the 3-year-old, he shows more interest. The other kids care less. They be trolling me, man, saying, "Why was you on the and this or that?" I don't even know they be listening to me, but they be listening. Sometimes they be watching. They'll come in laughing at me.
I know. My wife.
They think it's weird.
My wife be watching. I catch my wife sometimes watching my videos. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
That's good though. That's a good thing.
I got a notification of my wife's name.
At all. She didn't watch one video. I don't think. Maybe one or two. Maybe 200.
I got a notification the other night. It says like I know the name. It says subscribe. I said, what the hell is going on? And then I came in the bedroom. I saw her. I was like, "Why are you watching my video?" She said, "Oh yeah, I've been watching them all."
Oh yeah, she's smart. She's smart. See, me, I'm building a secret life. I'm gonna have a secret family on here on YouTube. I'm gonna have a Reef kids. It's gonna be fantastic until it blows up. Oh man, I can't believe I'm still even walking around right now. I'm gonna go home and die. But before I go home, I'm stopping by the LFS just to look around.
What time do you leave?
At noon, and has this softball size Ghanapora, and then the green leather coral I've ever seen. The Neptune, whatever they are, corals, the green ones. It is like super green, man. And I'm just like, godly, I want that thing so bad, but I have no idea to put it in the tank. So I was staring at the tank to build a whole new aquascape so I could put these new corals in it. So I shall be doing Connie in the basement in a bucket of salt water for a week. Let it, get the much stuff off of it as I can. Then I'm going to throw it in my sump, let it set down there for a little bit more to the tank. I'm going to build another archway on it. so I can put more coral in.
I hear you. Should be nice.
Hopefully.
I'm doing a little fragging as we speak.
Uh-oh. Hey.
CJ, your mic cut out.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, oh, turn the camera on so I see that boxing shrimp come after you.
Boxer shrimp?
Yeah, his what's your name? His mantis shrimp with the clubs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll be all right though.
What's your species of what is it? Oh, like what kind of mantis?
I have no idea.
How big is that thing?
I have no.
Like how long?
I have no idea. It's probably only about 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah, mine's like maybe 1.5 inches or not even 2 inches long. Like very small.
Yeah. It was weird, man. I got one of inappropriate Reef shirts randomly in the mail, man. I was like, how the hell this guy? And I put the shirt on, and I automatically felt like doing something inappropriate, like eating my hair algae from scrubbing. Like, it started looking good to me. So, watch that guy, man. His shirts are pretty contagious.
I like that. I like his. I saw his shirt. If I was up in Canada, I would have ordered one for sure. I'm gonna hang out for maybe another little while, but I can't talk because my girlfriend's sleeping here, so I'm gonna have to let her sleep. It's already 11:30 here.
11:30, what, p.m.?
Yeah, p.m. Yeah.
Damn. So earlier this morning was streaming. It was daytime there.
Yeah, I was just hanging out in the daytime, but nighttime for me now. For you, it's Sunday morning, right? Like not even noon.
Yeah, it's 10:20 a.m. You're full 12 hours ahead.
Yep. From the East Coast, yeah, I'm like 13 hours ahead. Because you guys have daylight savings. So when you spring forward again, put the clocks forward again in the spring, you'll catch up to me like 12 hours straight.
Because of where you are, close to the.
Yeah, no daylight. Yeah, no daylight. It's odd here, you know. Like I was used to the sun going down at like 9:30 at night, but here the sun comes up and sets exactly at the same time every single day. There's no fluctuation. So it's like 6:30 sun sets, 6 o'clock, 6:15 the sun rises.
That seems like a great thing for your body's natural clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get used to it, but.
And also, if you wanted to have a natural tank, like sunlit tank, like it seems like you can do it down there easier than we could.
Yeah, it's like the wrasses, you know, even if you keep the light open, like they hide at past 6 o'clock, they're hiding. Mm-hmm. Like they won't come out. Even if you keep the light open till like 10, you won't see the wrasses out. They're hiding. They're gone to sleep for the night.
Yeah, it's almost time for lunch.
Radio silence, man.
Yeah, I think I talk so much that I don't realize how quiet things are if I shut up. But you can go ahead and get the show, man. Anything you want to talk about, tell the people how it is.
Not sure what people want to hear. You can check the comments, see if anybody has a question.
You doing a double, CJ?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, man. I ain't been sleeping 26 hours. I've been awake.
Wow.
Coffee's your friend.
I don't drink coffee. So
Neither do I, but like
no energy drinks or any of that. I used to do that when I first started working third shift, but it was taking a toll on me, so I just kind of pushed through myself.
Energy drinks will crash you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Energy drinks are pure poison, but coffee won't hurt you that much. They have some good coffee down here.
People say Christmas tree rock. Is that the rock that has a bunch of those different colored feather dusters and stuff on it?
Yep.
What's that, Bismarck rock?
Those are pretty cool, man. You can't like create those. You have to get them like from the ocean, right? Like there's no way to make one of those.
That's a Bismarck rock, right, Dave?
Yeah, it's got the I forget, not the feather duster worms, but the
Bismarck worm.
Bismarck worm, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's those small little worms that have the Christmas tree shaped filter feeder, like a.
Right, and they live within the coral. What kind of coral?
Yeah. No, but they live within the rock.
Right. What's the name of the coral?
It's like a Bismarck rock, isn't it? Or am I thinking of something completely different?
No, I think you're on the same thing with the worms. There's also one that has little hermit crabs that live in the coral too.
That's different. That's a different.
Oh, I know. It's completely different.
But they are cool though. Those hermit crabs are cool.
Yeah, they don't have shells. They actually live right in the rock.
No, that has some naked hermits.
Yeah. Varieties. That's what it's called.
Yeah, varieties. Right.
Bismarck worms.
So are you guys cycling your sand beds, or are you just stirring them up?
I stir mine.
I use natural actually. Like I never stir my sand beds.
You collecting the sand right from the ocean? Or are you collecting your live sand too?
Yeah, I collect different kind of sand. I collect sand that's near the where the water meets the shore, just where the water ends up meeting the shore. The sand is coarser there. There's also like a fine sand. Fine sand is like just a little higher up on the beach. You get a nice fine sand, and that fine sand is full of amphipods, full of copepods. That's where they all are, in the wet sand. And there's also like the sand that's completely under the water, and but just like very shallow, right when you first go in the tide pool, like where the tide pool starts. So
That's probably your richest life right there, isn't it? And the
yeah,
tide pool.
that's incredible. Like incredible amount of fish there, and that's where everything is. Like seahorse, pipefish, wrasses, gobbies. They all start out small. Even the damselfish start out very small, like smaller than your, maybe less than your fingernail, and so you can trap them. Like if you have a couple of nets, you can catch them there, and you grow out your fish. That's how I like. Really enjoy doing that, and the fish are super hardy.
Yeah, it seems like you got a whole different kind of hobby down there, man.
Yeah,
It's a whole different.
Yeah, it's completely
It's like
different.
if you came here and you was restricted by all the stuff that we don't have and can't access and stuff, I wonder if you would even want to do it.
No, I'd want to do it, but I'd be so miserable, you know.
Right.
Like I really sincerely I really want to stay here, and you know I've really grown to like, yeah, you know, I want to stay here. And the more I see, like it's not all good. It's not all good. I'll have to say it's not always easy, but in terms of like the weather, in terms of the reefing hobby, it's really amazing, really nice. I have an animal rescue actually. The animals are so mistreated here.
Yeah, it's like an endless amount of them, so people probably don't care as much.
Yeah, it's like feral cats.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're in abundance. So, I mean, when you're diving, are you seeing different species of tangs and everything else too?
Yeah, you see everything. You see everything. Everything that you see in your, your local fish store, you know, you will see, and more. Like you have time to actually go and take a real close look at, like, a real close-up look at the coral, and you'll find other symbiotic relationships. Like you'll find shrimp hanging out. You'll find just little fish hanging inside, going inside the coral, and you see a
Yeah.
lot of like little stuff that uh, the fish stores like wouldn't even think of catch. Like for example, for my nano challenge, I'm thinking, you know what a barnacle is? You know what barnacles are?
Yeah.
A barnacle it's not a mollusk, it's a crustacean. It's like a shrimp, that builds a coral, a calcium shell around it. And I'm thinking of taking all barnacles and gluing them to the back of my tank, so that I have they're filter feeders, so that I have the whole back wall, like it's like pulsing xenia, like it's like moving, They stick their filter feeder out, and they're kind of rowing through the water. Shit, I just lost my headphones. Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so you see a whole bunch of stuff that you would never see in the aquarium trade, like local fish store. It's just an example.
Look at that. That's got the abysmal. And it's got the hermit. See my screen?
Let me see that. No, we don't see it. It's Dave, right?
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen.
I see it.
Oh, now I see it. Yeah. That's it. That's Abysma.
Yeah, but look at the
That's
hermit.
Abysma. And what are those hermits called?
I forget what the hermits are called, but the coral that they live in, I think, is called a pargarita. PAG.
Yeah, that would be dead. That'd be dead in my tank.
Oh yeah.
That man, that rock would be it'd be a buffet. Wrasses will just be circling it all day long.
I think they can close up their hole. I think they have a lid. They can shut their hole. Like didn't come out right, but they can close up their hole with.
No, that must be the type of hermit crab, not the type of coral.
Yeah, someone's asking 120, 48 long. What kind of flow should I add? I'm suggesting 4 gyro 280s will be good on a 120 gallon tank. What kind of flow do you guys think he should have?
We have one J-Bolt CP8. My tank that's about the same size with 2 returns blasting. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to do like CJ. Need some pumps.
No, nobody has flow addictions like me. But it's a commitment, man. You got to commit to it.
You gotta get these for the Nano Challenge, man. They're cool.
I actually think I should put a gyro in the Nano. I was thinking about doing that. Getting a gyro 230 and putting the end cap on it to where it's cut in half, put it on the back wall, and let that be the flow for the Nano.
Do they come with that end cap when you buy them?
They do now. The 100 series didn't. You had to buy it separate. It was like $10. But they do the courtesy of including it now with the 200 series. Or at least the 230. I don't know about the 250, 280. I guess they figure the big ones, no one's ever going to cut those in half, maybe. I don't know. So.
Yeah, those crabs are awesome. Those hermit crabs are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Since we were talking about them, I started looking at them.
They have a name, though. I know they have a name. I just forget what it is right now.
This is the name I found when I was looking at Christmas tree rocks. A couple of these guys came up.
And so,
Agarita or something. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Let me see. Let me look that up.
Andrew, you would have, if you had 4 gyros in that tank, man, it would be a lot of fun. It would be a whole lot of fun. Watching the fish, man, your fish would have the biggest muscles in the world. Very, very, very strong fish.
It's like when you get baby clownfish and you put them in a tank and they're not used to any kind of flow. That's all they do all day is just swim.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'll tell you, I've seen the funniest thing ever at the LFS. Hope he still has it, because I'm going to get some video today when I stop him and look. He had a pair of clownfish. He ordered them, some snowflakes or something. And they messed up the order and sent him a nano-sized male clownfish with the female. So the female was like 2.5, 3 inches. And the male was like half an inch big. And they were a pair. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen, man. A little bitty male. It looked like he was small enough to get sucked through overflow teeth. Standing right beside the female, like, this is my girl, you know. So, yeah. Pretty amazing. Seeing such a small clownfish. Probably the smallest clownfish I've ever seen.
Okay, the hermit crabs are Astreopora is another word for them.
Yeah, I saw it. Astreopora. Yeah, you're looking at this. You're looking at the same thing that I'm. Crops hermit crab, Pagarita crappie, Pagarita coralicola.
I've seen the Christmas rocks at the LFS, but I've never seen those little crabs. Must be harder to come by.
They probably die out because, I mean, even when I take live stuff out, it's a 2-hour trip back to my place. You know, because there's a nice beach and there's just the regular dirty beach that, you know, I'm just beside the regular beach. Like, it's not anything special, but the nice beach where everything is where all the life is, that's about 2 hour drive away. And for me to get anything live back, in really excellent shape, it's not easy. Even at 2 hours, um, it's, stuff jumps out. They know that they're not in their natural environment. The water's not moving around the same way that it was when it was in the waves and the water. So you have a lot of. It's very disturbing for them, and they're trying to escape. So I wouldn't be surprised if those hermits jump out. In the shipping process.
And I'm sure if you got them home and in an aquarium, they're going to need a constant flow of food because they can't travel either. They got to stay in that rock. So you would have to target feed them twice a day.
What I'd love to have, what I'd love to have is that that fridge. Did you see the build where they have like what's it called? It's like a medical stirrer, a magnetic stirrer inside. They have that build on Reef to Reef where the guy did that. There's a stirrer inside a pot, inside a glass container that's mixing up his frozen food, and he's dosing it out of a doser that's located inside that small beer fridge, and then he's running a line through it that runs to his tank. So he's able to dose frozen food, like it mixes it up and then doses it out and to the tank. It's like an auto feeder.
Right.
And if you had that, I think you could almost do anything.
You see what Asa has in his garage? His plankton culture. Asa comes in here every once in a while. He shows off what he's got going on. But he's got 7 very long tubes in his garage with a robotic arm to feed his plankton.
No way.
Yeah.
He's got a plankton culture?
Yeah. He's doing all
that's
NPS.
Nice.
He's doing all NPS in his tank. He's the guy with the dump bucket algae scrubber built in over his tank too.
That's nice.
Yep.
If you can culture a phytoplankton for your tank, I think that's pretty much the ultimate.
He's got a design though. I don't know that it's up and running as of yet. I know it works, but I don't know if it's all 7 tubes are full of plankton. And working on a big.
Well, I was culturing phytoplankton before. I was culturing phytoplankton. I was culturing rotifers, and I was culturing mysis shrimp and brine shrimp too. Brine shrimp I don't consider anything special, but I was culturing mysis shrimp. So if he's culturing phytoplankton, I think if you're dosing phytoplankton to your tank, your system, that's pretty close to natural.
Yeah, he's going pretty natural. He's been doing it a while. I think he's the only guy in here older than me.
When I was young and in my prime, I used to do it all the time. Now I'm old and gray. I only do it once a day.
Well, don't tell him I said he's an old guy because
sounds like a heck of a nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a rhyme, not a nursery rhyme.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad. Let me warm up my.
Sorry, I made it sound that way.
Warm up my leftovers.
All right, Dave.
Morning, Paul.
I've just been mucking about with my nano.
I was up late.
Yeah, we were talking about you.
I was up late running the stream.
Riff, what kind of fruit y'all have down there, man? I bet y'all got all the good fruits and everything.
Yeah, there's different kind of there's different kind of fruit, like stuff you never.
Pears, bananas, kiwis.
They have 3 kinds of bananas, like these little mini bananas. Um, um, they have like well, we have coconut and we have we'll call it pineapple. We have there's rambutan. There is you guys never heard of that. There
Heard of what?
is
Rambutan?
some rambutan. Yeah,
Describe it.
it's it looks like the outside looks like I see gashtang. How do you say chestnut? Chestnut. And it looks like chestnuts with the spikes on it, but they're not like they're kind of soft.
Is
And
it
then
big,
when you
big or
open,
small?
it's about like less than palm size, and it's red. And inside, it looks like a clear fruit with a large seed. It's nice. It tastes very good, like kind of sweet.
And it's very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm from Jamaica, so I'm pretty sure we have that fruit. I think we call it sweet sop in the island.
Yeah, when's the last time you had some of that? Oh,
Yeah, listen, man. When I went back to Jamaica, that was the best part. I saw this guy pushing a fruit cart on the street. I told him, "Give me one of everything. Give me two of everything."
Oh yeah, that's common here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's common here. Like they're
I saw
pushing fruits all over.
every fruit guy I saw just said, "Man, give me two of everything." I was just in the hotel. Like I know some of the tourists were looking at me like this guy dude is crazy. Because when I was finished, I had like a pile of skin and garbage. I just went out till the Rasta guys started coming to the hotel and waiting on me. I'm like, just give me two every day. Give me two of everything.
They probably thought you were going to make it back.
So the same thing, like we have mango. You have mango trees there. We have mango trees here, but different kind of mango, like green mango, and so different kind of mango that I never tasted.
Actually, a lot of my favorite mangoes in Jamaica are the East Indian mangoes that come from like Southeast Asia, so I'm pretty sure like some of the the mangoes native to Jamaica are different, but there's actually a lot of the Southeast Asian mangoes that are planted there that grow really well, and those are my favorite.
Is the climate similar?
Yeah, I don't know. It grows though, so I love it.
Right. Both like a Caribbean kind of climate?
Yeah. Hot, humid, right?
Everybody thinks I'm weird here, man, because my office is always blacked out, and all you can see in here is a blue light.
Experiments
from the nano tank, but
yeah. There's jackfruit. I think you guys don't know.
Oh yeah, man, I love the man. Listen.
Oh, you know that? Okay.
I'm from Jamaica, man. We have these things. You're making me hungry now.
There is.
I used to eat guava. We had a guava tree in my yard. I used to love guava.
Yeah. There is. We have an orange here, but the oranges are not orange color; they're green.
So we have that in Jamaica we have the orange, and then we have the sweet orange. And then we have an orange that's sour that we used to use it to make like lemonade. It's like oversized lime. It's orange. It's still orange. It's green, but the flavor is kind of sour. But I loved it because I'm like a sour guy. I like sour food.
Yeah, so do I.
You like Sour Patch Kids?
Oh yeah. Listen, man, what do you think I'm eating right now?
Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, I figured that's right up your alley.
Yeah, right.
Call me Sour Patch.
My son brings them home when his classmates have birthdays, and I always steal them and eat them.
You know those things are evil for real, man. You ever seen the commercials, man? All they do is troll people.
Yep. Man, I got some crazy glue. I was gluing a frag, and I got so much glue on my hand. It's not even funny. I don't even know. I'm about to go out to dinner with my wife, and how the heck am I gonna get this stuff off?
Just try to shake everybody's hand.
God, look at that.
No polish remover.
I did.
Oh, have you never worn a glove, man? You don't seem like the kind of guy that wears protection with his tank.
They don't make gloves that big.
Acetone will take it off.
Yeah, all right. I used half my wife's bottle already. We'll see how happy she is.
It's probably acetone-free nail polish remover.
Yeah, get you some gloves, man. You know, use protection on your tank. Oh, quit
They don't
wild
have
diving in the
gloves,
tank.
CJ. They don't have. I'd try to find gloves these size. It's more work trying to get the damn gloves off. Stick your hands tight.
No, I see you guys using gloves, plastic gloves for your tank. They have a powder on those gloves that is extremely toxic to anything like living. It's poison.
There's gloves that don't have powder on them up here.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
the you could get the medical
Yeah.
grade stuff.
Yeah, we get the ones that don't have powder. But yeah, that's a good point though, because somebody who don't know better will get the powder ones.
Or put powder on there. Like me, one time I was about to do it, and my wife said, "You can't put powder on your hands to get it in the glove and then stick it in the tank. Like you're being stupid." And that's when I had the aha moment. Like, aha.
Plus, guys, O's got really big hands because he's a really big guy. So that's the first problem. They don't make gloves. I have trouble with the gloves.
Listen, just get you some of them Kroger bags. And just tie it over your hand. Listen, man. Listen, don't laugh at me like you ain't got Kroger bags in your house, man.
Listen, man, TJ, I'm just laughing.
Everybody keep Kroger bags as their trash bags, man. If you don't do that, man, I'm leaving.
What's a Kroger bag?
I'm just laughing because of the way you said it, how you pronounce it. But heck yeah, man, we know.
What's a Kroger bag?
The bags you get from the supermarket.
Okay, I didn't know what it was called.
Y'all don't have a Kroger?
Well, you know,
No, I got a ShopRite bag. If it's
I got ShopRite, C-Town.
Y'all got to. Well, never mind. You guys are in New York. I bet you got to bring your own bags. The bags probably cost $20.
No, but
you can get them out of the store.
BYOB.
No, we don't actually. But
No,
it's just
it's only
that
the big
we don't have a
box store.
Kroger. We don't have.
Listen,
a Kroger.
listen.
We have so
I'm gonna
many
tell you guys.
different
I'm gonna tell you
supermarkets.
guys the trick. Listen, ask for everything to get triple bagged. Buy a pack of M&Ms, get a triple bag.
CJ, I get so many of these bags, I throw them out. We actually have an issue with these because they keep clogging up our sewers. Like they want to say don't give them out for free anymore. But CJ, I get so many of these bags.
Why are people putting them down the drain?
Because it's New York City, man. Like they just get loose and they just blow around. And listen,
Oh, okay.
you got 8 million people living within a small space, CJ. We probably got more people living in the space of Louisville, the area that Louisville takes up. So there's
I want to tell you, wait till you come down here. You want to see crowded? Just wait. Oh my God.
I've seen pictures and videos of people delivering like fridges on the back of bikes.
What? Yeah.
Man, I want to show you guys some video. They actually hang on the back of these vehicles called jeepneys. They're like vehicles with no doors, and it's like it's kind of public transportation where people like there's no. What's incredible here is there's no bus stops. How do you know where to get on or where it's going?
One-stop driver.
Like,
you say one-stop driver.
and people are hanging on the back of it, standing up, hanging on the back.
Oh, we had that in Jamaica. When you say you're ready to get off, the guy doesn't really stop. He just slows down and he just time your jump.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Oh heck yeah!
Andrew said I'm living on 3 acres of land in New Jersey. So Andrew
said that. Who said that?
Andrew John.
Oh, I don't know him.
He must be pretty rich.
No. That's probably par for the course in Jersey. They got space in Jersey, man. Except in
Jersey,
York and Patterson.
Yeah, Central Jersey isn't as developed, so they have larger areas.
Yeah, or even in South Jersey, where we used to have an office down in Lawrenceville, and there's a bunch of cane fields.
Man, I need to go ahead and move down to Kentucky, man. So that way you can actually have some fresh air, have a few acres to live on for cheap.
CJ, there's nothing for me in Louisville. Like I'm about to be laid off. You think I was in Louisville, I would get another job as quick?
Yeah.
No.
Definitely. You can take one of CJ's shifts.
Yeah.
It's jobs all around Louisville. And with your background and your skill set and resume, I have no doubt that you'll be able to find something exactly what you're doing.
All right, CJ, listen, I'm gonna pay a visit down to Louisville. I promise you that. My wife says she's not coming. I'm like, I'll eat the whole steak without you.
Just take it out to eat, man. Ensure the price
steak
is
here.
No steak?
They don't have cows.
I'm not even visiting.
So y'all don't have milk? We don't have goat milk?
I really miss my steak. Seriously, like those 1-inch steaks from Costco. Like I'm dying down here, really.
What
That's not
y'all
a
eat there?
steak.
What y'all have? Goat or buttermilk or something? Like, what do you eat your cereal with?
No, they don't. CJ, they don't have milk.
What?
They don't have milk. Can you believe that? They don't have milk. There's
I
no
don't
milk
even.
here.
I don't even compute, man.
Before he moved there,
A world without milk is not a world at all.
CJ,
The
when I
only
was
milk
CJ, when I was growing up in Jamaica, I had to use powdered milk where you had to make your own milk. Like
the only milk that they have is that conserve milk, the one in the cartons that like keeps forever. That's not even real milk.
No,
right, yeah.
They don't have milk in China.
CJ, I didn't grow up with real milk, man. In Jamaica, I couldn't afford like real milk was too expensive,
Man.
so we had powdered milk. Like that thing was like now when I taste it now, it's nasty, but that's it. You
I
pour
didn't grow
like
up the best, man. I was in the, I was in the project with the government milk and cheese and stuff, but still, at
oh,
least I
I
had
love
something.
man. Sometimes my mother would get that from her friends and like send down like the government like peanut butter. Oh, CJ, I felt like I was living life.
Hey, that government peanut butter you had to open with the can opener was the truth,
Oh
man.
heck yeah, man! My mother used to send it to Jamaica along with the flour and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got to stir it up though, man, because it's like 2 inches of peanut oil on top.
when my mother would come down, like her friend would give it to her, so she would freeze the cheese and then bring it down to Jamaica. Yo, I felt like I was a king. For like the next month, CJ, man, listen. Why do you think everybody wants to move here, man? Because even when you're poor in America, it's a different poor than if you're poor in the Philippines or poor in Jamaica.
Oh yeah, 100% right.
I never had milk until when I moved here, CJ. I moved here July 3rd, 1996. And when, like, July 5th, I went to the store and the guy said, "Oh, you need a job?" I got a job. My first paycheck, I was coming home and I went into the store and the guy said, "Oh, how much for milk?" The guy said $2 a gallon. I said, "What?" Yo, I went home with like 4 gallons of milk and like 10 Snickers. And my sister was like, "What are you doing?" And I told them the price. Like me, my brother, my sister, man. I think we lived on Snickers and milk for like the next year.
Oh, at a party.
Oh heck yeah! You know how much Snickers it was in Jamaica? I never had disposable income, so I had to collect bottles to like if I wanted anything. So can you imagine? In Jamaica, it was like 1 week's worth of work collecting bottles and selling them to buy 1 Snickers. And can you imagine me being able with my first paycheck to buy like 50 Snickers? I felt like I made it. I felt like this is where I needed to be.
That's funny. DC, his cereal came in the bags. That's hilarious, man. Well, yeah, man. That's part of the life. That's part of why I work so much, man. Because
heck yeah.
listen, man, I grew up in the projects wearing yard sale clothes, hand-me-downs, and all of that. So I'm grown now, and I can control my own destiny, and part of that is working.
My
So
son
that's what I do.
My son asks me all the time, like, "Yo, Dad, did you have this when you grew up?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "How did you live without milk? How did you live without a Game Boy?" I'm like, "Man, man." Sometimes my son takes me back by asking me these questions. At some point, CJ didn't even have a TV.
Right.
I went like years and years and years. That's why I don't watch much TV these days because I moved here when I was 14. I went like probably half my life without a TV, half my childhood without a TV.
Damn, I never thought I was rich or nothing, but cereal in a bag and no TV, I was on a silver spoon, brother.
It was just different, man. It was just different, man. It was just different. And you could just go out if you're hungry for lunch. You just go out and just pick some fruit, pick some guava, pick some mangoes, pick some plums, and have yourself like a nice fruit meal. Whatever. Yeah.
Different life, man.
Go down
Different
to the river,
lifestyle,
catch some
man.
crabs.
Hey, you ever want to ever let your kids get a taste of the real life, like back in the motherland? Like take them down there to stay for a summer or something?
Nah, because it's too violent.
Oh, okay.
No, too violent. Even when I take them there, they don't get the full picture because we have to stay on a resort. Nah, it's too violent. Too violent in Jamaica. I would never. No.
So Jamaica's that bad?
First of all, I don't have any family that I would trust to sort of give them to. Absolutely not. And then Jamaica's too violent. They stand out. They stick out like a sore thumb. Like they'd be the foreign kids that their parents probably have money, and somebody would think, yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. But all you can teach your kids to do right now is, you know, hard work. Hard work pays off. College is a must. And, you know, I would never do it. I know people who send their kids back home thinking the education system in Jamaica is better. I'm like, hell no. Hell no, not sending my kids back.
Mhm.
No.
Man, I grew up with hockey, and like there's no such thing as hockey here. Hockey is like unknown. They love
Yeah.
basketball.
Ice. When's the last time you seen snow or temperatures below 50 degrees?
Yeah,
Florida,
2 years ago.
Florida has a hockey team.
Oh, he's Canadian. They breathe
Yeah,
hockey up there.
Y'all had snow?
I started playing hockey when I was like 5 years old, and I stopped when I was about 16.
Probably like our kids have football and soccer. They probably hockey up there, right?
Well,
Um,
CJ is they probably take football a lot more serious than we do over here. Probably in New York City, it's basketball. It's basketball. All you need is a pavement and a ball with air, and basketball gets played. So that's why you get a lot of basketball players out of New York. But where CJ is, it's probably more football than basketball.
No, it's kind of equal now, man.
Both here.
It's actually pretty equal for both.
Yeah.
There was one point in time where basketball was huge here. Like college coaches would come and scout players at like the neighborhood parks. There was so much talent. You know what I'm saying? Like kids playing a pickup game at the park were getting offered scholarships at one point in time.
Well, now they got AAU and stuff, so
Right.
they don't need to come to the park anymore.
Mm-mm.
That crazy dude that played for St. John's and the Lakers went to World Peace. The college coach found him by just going to the park.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how he found Ron Artest. That's how he found him, by like just going to the neighborhood park and just like, oh, there's this crazy kid who's not scared of anything, who's fearless.
This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have no Tony the Tiger on it. It had a hood cat.
Yep, that's the life, man. That's the life we lived. Wasn't even no chance of no reef tank back then.
Reef tank, any fish I had, I needed to eat it to survive. So what are you talking about, reef tank?
Yeah, you can go diving and see a reef.
If I needed,
We are very fortunate to be able to be in the hobby because it's a very expensive hobby. So if you even have an opportunity to be in it, that's a great thing.
Yep. I manage it on a small budget, so you don't have to spend a lot of money either.
Yep.
I have a second job just to support this damn hobby.
Yeah, you do it big though.
Yeah, O does it big, man. Oh, if you start spending on your tank for a little bit, man, you could probably afford a nice bicycle to get around on.
I'm done. I told you I'm done. I'm going back. Like, this job is ending March 1st, and I'm probably going to be going back to working in an office somewhere. So I'm done, man. I'm done spending on this tank, man. I make one major change.
Why don't you get you a moped, man? Is that the best thing to get around on in New York City?
Nah, man.
A moped?
Bicycles now.
Hey, Dave, I got an interview down in Kane University down in Union, man. I hope I get that job.
Always rode a bike since it said, I guess what, 20 years old? Was that the last time you was on the 6 foot?
Wait, what? I'm not.
When's the last time you rode a bike?
A bike? Probably
Yeah.
2004, 2005.
Because I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. They don't make bikes for 6'7", 300-pound people. So,
listen, I told you, CJ.
Cruising for a bruising bike.
There was a Giants football player. The guy had like a 1700cc bike. I forgot what it was. It took 3 of us to push it out of the shop every morning. The way that thing was the way that thing was gigantic.
Hey, when I was in Japan, there are some sumo wrestlers. Seriously, sumo wrestlers riding bikes, riding bicycles. That's a sight to see.
In that sumo outfit? I hope they weren't wearing
in the sumo diaper. Yeah.
Oh man, that had to been very entertaining to watch, man.
I should have stopped the pic.
Nah, you should have recorded that in slow motion. You gotta see in slow motion, man.
It'll be viral right there. Make an intro to every video you ever make.
When I was in Tokyo, I was just close to the sumo stadium. And I used to see those guys come out and they take their bicycle, like natural for them to, take a bicycle to go a short distance, go get some lunch and come back to it. That's hilarious.
I keep in shape.
Oh, yeah. See the size of those guys?
Yeah. Kind of mean that we were talking about how big O is and you brought up sumo wrestlers. I won't,
No. I mean, I wouldn't by being mean to O, man. He's he's big, man.
I'm just messing with everybody. That was a shot at everybody.
Yeah. That's why I ain't never come to none of these reefing events, man, because I don't want to be, demasculated standing beside these big people. See? So
No, man.
So
I tell you, when I went to
and Billy Pipes and all of that.
When I went to rap on that Friday night before it opened, I walked right in between Billy Pipes and Scott. Nobody even saw me.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, time for that.
Two big boys. And O was there that night too, weren't you? Oh, you were there that night, Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the lay of the land before the show.
I got a picture I'm gonna share with you guys as soon as I can. But me and Billy took a picture in front of like the same tank Rico has, and it's just hilarious how little that tank looks. Me and Billy standing in front of it.
Who's got the picture of you guys back to back?
Yeah, this little tank is cleared up now. I got the glass clean, the water's clearing up now. Starting to look a little different.
DC was there. DC, you got that picture of O and Billy Pipes standing back to back? Somebody got it.
No, they both look. They both canceled each other out and looked short.
I had to bend down to shake the inappropriate reefer's hand.
That might have been Sally.
DC said Rico's round. He looked like a circle. He's silly.
Oh, he doesn't have that picture? Okay. Somebody's got it. There's also a picture of Billy Pipes standing next to Sean. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, see, it's all good. Well, maybe one day I'll meet everybody, but it may not ever happen.
Yeah, I'm as far as all my friends and everything, I'm kind of taller than most of them, but then I go see the Reef guys and you see Ed and Billy and O.
Yeah, see that Reef Palooza, New York, whatever, close to you all, right? So it's not really that big of a commitment.
I get in the car and go like I'm going anywhere.
Yeah, see, it's right there. See, it's a huge commitment for me to go to any of them because it's so damn far away.
I hear you. I'd like to go to Orlando, but not just for that. I would like to plan a vacation, make that the last stop, and head home.
Enjoy the beach because you're looking at around $800-900, maybe $1,000 for the flight for whatever else, to get down there. So, yeah.
DC, that's
what you won't have any money left for corals.
Then I got to drive them home or try and get them home.
Yeah, so it's like, are you going down there to go buy corals, or are you going down there just to socialize? That's $1,000 to go socialize. That's a lot of money to just go say hi to somebody.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going down there to talk security business. Yep, go ahead.
I went like midday. I went home and dropped off what I had and went back to get more. That's how close I am.
Man, it looks like Rico just went live. I wonder what's going on.
Gonna head over there.
We're gonna move the party over there. Moving the party. I'm gonna head on over.
We got 24 guys watching here, so I guess everybody gonna go over there, and then we'll come back here if it's a short one.
Sounds good.
What about Paul? Is he coming, or is he staying here?
I'm sure Paul will know he's live, but let's leave him a little. Rico went live in the chat.
All right, I'll follow you guys. Wherever you're going, I'll follow.
He said he's there. Okay, let's all go over there for a little bit.
All right. I'll see you there.
See you on the other side.
See you, Paul. Thanks.
Dave, you leaving too?
Yeah, I'm over there.
All right.